Hello, my love. Welcome back to The Alchemist's Way. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how Mercury equals money. Not literally, but your content, what you're talking about in your content, how you express yourself in your authentic voice does attract the right kind of clients to you. In another video, we'll dive into how your Venus is how you literally attract money. Your Venus in your second house really show you the value you bring to clients. And then your Saturn is how you build a stable structure for yourself. 10th house is your legacy, right? We'll get into that in another video. How you actually start making money is through your authentic voice and how you show up on social media. So let's dive into Mercury from that perspective. Before I dive into each individual Mercury placement, what is Mercury? Mercury is the planet of communication. It is the planet that actually helps us understand what we're thinking about, what we're talking about, how we express ourselves. So when we think about social media, which is very Gemini, right? Social media is all about Mercury. It's all about how we're communicating, how we're expressing ourselves, and how we're really letting our thoughts be known. So if you're a spiritual business owner, or you're just somebody who really wants to learn how to make better content that actually sounds like yourself, let's get into how you can use your Mercury sign through your content. How do you show up in your content? What do you say in your content? And if you're new here, hello, my love. My name is Riley X. I am a professional astrologer who helps highly sensitive people build something sustainable in a system that's not meant for them. Okay, let's be honest. Who is the system for anymore? I don't know. But we're going to make it work. I'm making it work for 4 years now, so you can make it work too. And be sure to check out my Patreon. It's linked down below. I have a content prompt where it's literal scripts based off of your Mercury sign that you can actually start, just plug and play. There's a little blanks, you fill it in, see how it goes. With Mercury in the first house or Mercury in Aries, you are really meant to speak from your personal perspective, your opinion, and say it boldly. The block I see with most people with this energy is this fear of being a little too zoomed in, this fear that their perspective doesn't actually help anybody, or this feeling of being a little too self-conscious and too aware of your doubts, your falls, your this, your that. And sometimes if you really believe in something, it can kind of start arguments. So the sweet spot is really learning how to share your opinion, be bold, be brave, but don't feed into arguments. Try not to start arguments and don't let people fire you up. Easier said than done. With Mercury in Taurus or in the second house, your voice and the way you think is quite literally the gift you bring to others. Your voice can change the way other people think. Your mind, the way you think about things, the way you keep your pace, makes people feel regulated. There could be a potential block around how you see your own self-worth. So if you have issues with self-worth, if you have self-doubt, if you have energy that feels like it's kind of weighing you down a little bit, pay attention to that, work through those fears and those discomforts, because if you don't, that could be the block on showing up on social media, helping clients the way that you know you actually could. The sweet spot is when you are really regulated, when you are using mindfulness practices, when you're meditating, when you're feeling grounded. This is when you know what you actually think versus opinions of other people that you accidentally started to believe in yourself. That way, when you feel regulated, you feel grounded, and you show up into the world, there's not so much of this fear and discomfort around being your authentic self. You're not so worried, am I saying the right thing? Am I doing it perfectly? You're letting yourself be more authentic. With Mercury in the third house or in Gemini, you have the gift of the gab. You have the gift of the gab. Share your thoughts. Whatever things feel exciting or fun, or like, ooh, I just thought of this thing. A lot of downloads, a lot of quick thinking, quick content. However, there's a bit of chaos that can happen with this. And if you're not paying attention, sometimes your mind can start to think about something that is irrelevant and take you off course. So making sure that you have something that pulls you back to the topic, something, a slight filter before you hit post. Is this fully relevant to what I want to be talking about, or am I just starting to go off on a tangent here? The sweet spot is really when you let yourself riff off the top of your mind, but in a private way before you post out loud and share with others. So, voice memos, your notes app, maybe even letting yourself have something like threads where you post a little thought here and there and then come back to it for full content. If you have your Mercury in Cancer or it's in the fourth house, you are very nurturing with your voice. You bring comfort to people. They can emotionally regulate around you. One of your biggest natural gifts is being able to say the exact thing people need to hear. So, storytelling, diving into the path that makes you feel comfortable, maybe a personal experience that really made you feel more secure, or something you've been through to help people realize what you've overcome. One of the biggest blocks with this energy is the need for privacy. So, one of the issues is not even that you don't know what to say, it's that you don't necessarily want the world to know about it. So, using discernment, what do you actually want to share? What parts of your personal life could be really helpful to others? And what is just a boundary you don't feel like crossing? Let that be okay. Set those boundaries with yourself, and that's really going to be helpful. The sweet spot is sharing something real. It doesn't have to be super deep, it doesn't have to be super personal. It can be very vague, but something real. Let me know if that helps. With your Mercury in the fifth house or in Leo, you are meant to be entertaining. You are meant to inspire people. You're meant to share stories that feel like you're sitting around a campfire. And letting yourself be the center of attention is really important, but the block usually comes in when you feel like you're performing, when you feel like you have to be on a stage and there has to be this intense spotlight on you. But when you force yourself to perform for likes and views and, oh, this is just what people expect from me, the content starts to feel flat and you'll start to feel drained. The sweet spot is really letting the content be fun for you first. The more you enjoy the content you're making, the more magnetic the content's going to be. And you don't have to be too specific and you don't have to get into it too much. You have to feel that warmth through your voice. With Mercury in the sixth house or in Virgo, you have this incredible ability to build systems and really explain how you got from point A to point B to point C. So you can create order out of the chaos with no problem. The block is perfectionism. Making sure as you're explaining it, it's exactly how you want it to be, and maybe over editing content and trying to perfect things instead of realizing you just need to kind of let yourself share your journey, your process of understanding it, and it will make sense to others. You might not want to hear this, but done is better than perfect. And the more content you actually create, the more people you can actually help. So learning to let yourself make the content. Maybe you want to make a nice, I've even got my little notes over here. I get it. I'm a Capricorn, I get it. But make your little notes, make your little list. Allow yourself to kind of use that Virgo energy to your own benefit instead of feeling like it is this thing that's weighing on you and it's impossible to make content. Okay? With your Mercury in Libra or the seventh house, you naturally know how to speak to your audience like it's a conversation. You know how to meet them where they are and really help them understand exactly what they need to know. The block is people pleasing. My Sagittarius Mercury is in the seventh house. The block is people pleasing. And unfortunately, sometimes you feel like you need to say things perfectly or say, like, oh, you don't want to go too much. You take off the edge a little bit. And then nobody actually feels seen or heard because you're afraid to say the wrong thing. The sweet spot is understanding that your connection is the superpower. You have to let yourself have an opinion, though. You have to let yourself share from a place of, this is what I believe, and then show up from that place. It's okay that people don't agree with you. I know. I know. It's okay. With your Mercury in Scorpio or in the eighth house, you have this ability to say the thing nobody's saying. Everyone's tiptoeing around it. It's like the elephant in the room. You have the ability to really say it. Let it rip. The block is usually all or nothing thinking and feeling like if you don't say it all and get all of the depth in, there's no point. So you end up either going silent or sharing so much that it's just like people don't know what to do with it. It either feels like an overshare or it's not activating them in a way that actually brings you more clients, more connection. The sweet spot is really sharing the insight without the wound. So, how you overcome something or the journey, the transformation, but not necessarily the most painful piece. You're not hiding anything by, not subjecting people to these darker topics, but going forward and talking about the things that people are afraid to talk about is your sweet spot as well. So, making sure that you're talking about trauma, you're talking about this depth, you're talking about intensity without needing to re aggravate your own wounds or activate your clients in a way that kind of puts them in that painful mindset. If you have Mercury in the ninth house or in Sagittarius, you have the ability to really open your clients' minds. The content you make inspires people, it's philosophical, it helps people see a different way of thinking. The block is speaking about things so big and so cool and so much that you forget to actually get to a point. When you inspire your audience, but they don't actually know what to do next, that is really where this doesn't fully land with your clients. The sweet spot is really figuring out how to bring the vision down to earth without shrinking it, letting it be big, letting it be intense, but giving some sort of actionable step for what people are supposed to do next. With Mercury in Capricorn or Mercury in the 10th, you are somebody who's really meant to speak openly. You are meant to be very credible. People look up to you. They see you as either a role model or a guide because you're meant to be in the public. You're meant to be seen talking about what you believe in. But the biggest block is the fear of getting it wrong publicly. One of the hardest things for Capricorn energy is to overcome doubt, right? So letting yourself be seen trying is likely one of the biggest painful pieces of having this placement. The sweet spot is remembering that you mean what you say and you say what you mean. So yes, authority has to be built in public. You can't build it in private. You can't be silent and hope somebody sees you. You do have to be visible. You have to say it with your chest, and you have to trust that even if right now it's not the full truth, you will build towards it. Trust yourself to say the thing you believe now and allow yourself to evolve. You don't have to be immediately perfect, and you don't have to be ashamed of being human. It's okay to make mistakes. I know you don't want to hear that, but I had to say it. With Mercury in Aquarius or in the 11th house, you're really meant to speak about things that not everyone's talking about. You have ideas and perspectives that help people see something new on the horizon that has not become mainstream yet. But because you're ahead of the curve, sometimes the block is feeling like you're too weird. You're too weird, you're too different, nobody understands you. Is what you're saying even making sense? You might hold back some of your most original thoughts because you feel like people aren't ready yet. So, learning to move through that is a huge step. And truly, the sweet spot is understanding your weirdest ideas are likely your best ones. The right people are waiting for you to say the thing only you can say. So, post for those people. Don't worry about the ones who are not going to get it. They help with the algorithm. Okay, let them comment, let them fight in the comment section. Just let them fight. It's fine. With Mercury in Pisces, you're really meant to lean into the mystical way that you just say the things that make people feel seen. They can't really understand it. They don't really know why. There's something mystical about the way you speak, about the way you think. It's not solid. It's not logical. It's very emotional. The block for you is likely invisibility, where either you're struggling to actually share your inner world out loud, or maybe you just don't feel comfortable actually being seen, filming your face, filming your ideas in one video, or you ghost your content all the time, where it's like you make one thing and then you run. But remember, you don't have to be loud to be seen. And in fact, in a world full of people screaming at the top of their lungs, your content is really going to stick out when you stay calm, you stay regulated, and you share something mystical. It's going to stick with people literally in the back of their mind, right? Mercury, the 12th house, Pisces energy, it's all related back to subconscious mind. So let your content be about helping people focus on the subconscious. What are the undertones? What are the things they need to hear? What are the things that can plant a little seed that they can be thinking about for a while. That's your sweet spot. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to check out my Patreon for free, where I have the list of Mercury content scripts. And it's just every single Mercury sign, what you could say right now. It's like a plug and play concept where it's like blah, 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 blank, blank. Like you fill in the blanks, see how that content goes for you. And if you're ready for more support, you can always join the Lunar Library or sign up for the Alchemist Way Embodied, where I take you on a 3-month journey of truly understanding your authentic voice, your magnetism, how you magnetize clients to you, and how you build a structure for yourself. Everything I do is based on astrology and human design and really tapping into the energy in your body. So learning to trust yourself at the quantum level. Check it all out down below. If you like the video, please give it a like and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.